Hey guys, it's Tara and welcome back to the channel. Pew, pew, pew. Yay, we are back, and first things first, I wanted to start with saying a huge thank you and welcome to all our new subscribers. Yay! There have been so many new faces in the comments and in my subscriptions, and I just wanted to say how grateful I am to you. I just love that we are talking about all the things. Anyway, just a huge thank you for all my subscribers, especially the new ones. Welcome to the party, to the pew, 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 whatever that is. Okay, let's get started. So today, this video is a very big one for me. And it's a big one because it's kind of private, kind of emotional, and very revealing. You know, I am revealing to myself and to you guys my complete racial makeup. So how did I go about finding out my ancestry? Well, I did Ancestry.com, duh. And I know there's another one, 23andMe, but I chose Ancestry DNA after looking through some reviews about this company, and they came back with really good reviews and very accurate. So it's really simple. You get this kit in the mail. This is just the box, but you get this kit in the mail. It's a little vial. All you do is spit saliva into it, like a ½ inch of saliva, and package it up, send it in. You register your barcode that's on the back and on the inside. It's that simple. And then you wait. It says it could take up to like 6 to 8 weeks. I got mine in 3 weeks. So I was happy. I was very happy with this service. And yeah, everything was revealed to me in the regions, and there's a map and everything. And yeah, so this one's very simple. I have this is not sponsored whatsoever, but I do have a referral code down below that'll save you 15% off if you want to do it. So why not go through my link if you decide to do this and save some money? I mean, hello. So anyway, that's what I did, and let's see the results. Race can be a very sensitive topic. In fact, for me, it kind of has been in my life. I've got a racially mixed family, and then I grew up near my mom's family, which was predominantly Black, and then I went to schools and college, which was predominantly white. So I just had this, like a lot of Black girls, I'm sure, have a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say issues because it's not issues, but a lot of stuff around race. And I've been in therapy for over 15 years, and it has changed my life. But I most recently got a Black therapist for the last few years. And I don't know what made me wait so long, but it was such a game changer for me personally, because it was the first time I felt comfortable enough to bring up racial issues and things that I've thought and felt over the years about my race and how I'm treated and all that kind of stuff. So just to be completely honest, a lot of this talking about it and talking about race as it affects me is new to me. So yeah, I just thought, what the heck? I would talk to you guys about it and have a little fun with it, because I am having fun becoming a more authentic Tara year after year, especially Tara at 50. So I want to thank you in advance for giving me a little grace and being kind about this and giving me your kind feedback and comments, because yeah, it's a sensitive topic, but I'm a courageous girl and we are going to do this. Let's go. All right, so I thought I would start with what I think I am, or what I've always said I am. All right, so people do approach me and say, what's your race? What are you? Where are your people from? And my answer just really depends on who I'm talking to, because y'all chime in. If you're 50, if you're an old head like me, 50 and older, back in the day, there was no nuance with race. You know what I mean? We had to choose. If you grew up in America, you had to choose Black, white, Mexican, or Asian. That was it. It's like people wanted to categorize you and label you, I guess, so they knew where you fit in and how to treat you. So there wasn't, like I said, there wasn't there was no gray area. Black and white, get it? Gray area. There was no gray area or beige area in this case. There was no beige area. It was, you are what you are. You pick it when you're young. You identify with that look, that phenotype, that history, and you stick with it. So I'm Black. I feel Black. I look Black. I am Black, right? So that is just how I've been identifying my whole life. And it's not the truth. I'm not all Black. I am made up of several things and several big chunks of things. Anyway, what have I always said? I've always said that I am Black, Dutch, and American Indian, because that is what I know from my family. My mom's side is American Indian and Black, and my dad's side is Dutch, some other white stuff, and I don't even know like the Black or ethnic part of my dad. So I grew up mostly with my mom's side. I don't know if I said that. So I am close to my dad now, but I just still don't know a lot about our family history. So it is what it is. So that's what I've always said, because that's what I've known. Well, turns out not entirely true. The things you find out, the more you know. Let's start out with some pics of my family so that you guys can see where all of this came from, right? So here we've got my dad and my dad's sister. So you can kind of really see a little bit of a contrast in like how my dad's skin color looks different than his sisters, and they have the exact same parents. And this is my grandma right here, and iconic. And this is my grandma and my grandpa. So you can see like my dad's side over here. Now, over here is my mom's side. These are my grandparents who I love. My grandma is still alive. She is amazing. She is 94, I think, still kicking it. She's awesome. And that's my granddad. There is my beautiful mom. Here's another picture of her so you can kind of see maybe over the years. And yeah, this is what, I don't have any brothers or sisters. I'm an only child, if you guys didn't know that. I mean, how do you improve on this? Anyway. So yeah, these are the people that created this, right? And if you look at my mom and my dad, I might look like my mom because we both put on enough makeup to be drag queens. But if you look at my facial structure, I look so much more like my dad, like a very round nose, roundy cheeks. My mom's got strong cheekbones, and I have like just very round features. And I look a lot more like my dad, even though my style is like my mom. So why now at almost 52 years old do I suddenly care about finding out my ancestry? And that is because I have spent the last, I would say, 10 years really concentrating on and developing my authentic self, through therapy, self-work, 12-step, lots of things. I have, really tried to get in touch with my inner child, my 20-year-old Tara, the Tara of the future, all of those things that I've just been trying to get to know myself. And I have completely ignored this portion of myself, like my race and what I'm truly made of. And I just don't want to disrespect that anymore. It's absolutely a part of who I am. So I don't know if any of you ladies feel like that. If you do, please share with me in the comments, because it is kind of a lonely feeling. I don't know if everyone else feels like that, but yeah, I just want to get in touch with my roots. How about that? As a Black American or an African American, we know that we are descendants of slaves, and our history has feelings about it, and it gets complicated, So before getting too deep into that, let's just stop and find out what I am actually made of. Let's reveal the results. Okay. So I could not memorize all this, so I'm going to be looking on my iPad at the results. And let's just start reading them. Why am I nervous? I'm nervous all of a sudden. But anyway, okay. So the part of me that is Black is from Nigeria. I am 29% Nigerian, which is awesome, you guys. It's just cool to know where in Africa I am from. And the biggest portion of me is 29% Nigerian. So I only know a few Nigerian people in my life, and they're literally some of the coolest people I've ever met. So I was like, hell yeah, Nigeria. So 29% Nigeria. The next biggest portion of me that is African is Benin or Benin. I think it's Benin and Togo, and that is 9%. All right. So by the way, this is all in West Africa. Okay. So all of these regions. And then I am 8% Senegal. Nope. I am 8% from the Ivory Coast and Ghana. Very cool. I do know a couple of, am I saying it right? Guyanese people, and they're freaking awesome too. So I'm like, it's all coming together. It makes sense, right? All right. And so then I am 4% of just undescribed Central West African. So I guess just Central West African. And then 1% Mali, 1% Yoruba land. And this is so wild. But when I found out I was 1% Yoruba land, I was like, I gotta look this place up. I never even heard of it. So I went on and I watched a YouTube video about Yoruba land, even though y'all, 1%. But it told me so much, you know, like on this map, all of the West African countries right here. I mean, if you think if you sail from the United States over to Africa, you hit that area first. And that is where most of the transatlantic slave trade came from. So I probably share these roots with a lot of Black Americans, you know, my age. So that was very exciting to find out exactly where I'm from in Africa, which it means not only where I'm from, but where my granddad's from and his granddad, and maybe even his great granddad was literally from there. So it's awesome. All right, let's keep going. All right, so now let's get to the other part that moves over a little bit to Central Africa. So I am 6% Cameroonian. Love that for me. That's a nice chunk. 6% of your body, 6% of you being something. I'm really excited about finding out about Cameroon. And then 2% of the Western Bantu people. And all I know about Bantu is like Bantu knots. So they invented that. Winning. Love it. So very, very cool. So when you add that all up, I am 65% African or Black. Let's keep going before I say anything. Okay, so let's move on to Western Europe, all right? So Western Europe or white, I am 27% Dutch from the Netherlands, right? And I knew that. I didn't know how much, but I knew that my dad's grandma is like wooden shoe wearing, windmill loving, sausage eating Dutch, right? So I kind of grew up having a little bit of that culture, but I did not realize it would be 27%. That is only 2% lower than I am Nigerian. So I'm almost as much Dutch as I am Nigerian. It's wild. So 27% Dutch, which makes sense for a lot of my facial features. All right. And then 2% Northwestern Germany. And I did know a little bit of German as well. In fact, my dad was born in Germany and then I think moved to France and all over Europe with my grandparents before immigrating to America. So yeah, I'm a first generation American on my dad's side. All right. And then let's move on to England. I am 3% Devon and Somerset. No idea what that means. Are those little islands? Is that an area? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. And then I am 1% of a place in England called the West Midlands. Sounds lovely. Never heard of it. Very cool. Okay, and then the Celtic and Gaelic. I am 2% Irish. Who knew? So I'm actually 2%, and then there's several of the West African ones that I'm only 1%. So wow. So that equals all up to 35%. So you guys, that's it. I am 65% Black and 35% white. Who knew? Well, I kind of knew, but I didn't know. And now I know. So like, what do I do with this information? And why do I care so much? Well, first, let's talk about how I feel Like, how do I feel about finding out this information now? I feel really surprised about a couple of things. Number one, I did think that I was a lot more Black. I don't know, just because I did and I feel Black and whatever that means. And so I thought I would be more Black, but it doesn't like totally surprise me. And then the American Indian, I have been saying that I am a significant part American, Native American Indian since I can remember. And I identified with it like it was a big chunk. I mean, my family even told me it was like down to the tribe that it was called that I would identify with. And so I've been saying that for 40 years or 50 years, and I'm wrong. I'm dead wrong. I do not have one drop of Native American Indian in my blood. So yeah, that's weird to say something your whole life and then you find out that it's a lie, or it's not a lie. Is it a lie? Do we lie in our families about our genetic makeup? Do we lie about whose mama's who and whose daddy's who? Who knows? I bet people find out all kinds of stuff when they get into the ancestry. I just did the basic one where you find out the regions, but you can get an advanced one where you find out like your mother and your dad and your grandparents separately. And I bet that could cause a little tea, a little drama, a little with people. I don't necessarily care about all that, but yeah, it's not what I thought it would be. And I am not American Indian, so I'm gonna stop saying it. And that's a big change for me. Like, what's my conclusion about this? You know, my conclusion is that I want to take some responsibility about this. I want to care more. I want to investigate. I want to find out about these places that created me, you know? I mean, I know what my mom says and my dad says, but the facts are the facts. And looking at these numbers, it makes me want to identify with Nigeria a little more honestly, because I'm 29% Nigerian and I don't know anything about Nigeria. You know, I don't know enough about Nigeria. And so I want to, and I want to know more Nigerian people because obviously those are my people. Hello, I'm like a quarter Nigerian. And this is probably the larger part, you know, that's difficult to talk about, is that I am 35% white or European, and a huge chunk of that is Dutch, 27%. And I would say that I've just kind of been pushing it to the side, especially in my adult life. I've just identified as blackity black, and that's kind of messed up to my father and to that entire side of the family, which several of them are still alive. They still live there. And I think that I've talked a lot about in my personal life with friends, etc., about how America, you know, denies history. We don't talk about slavery the way that I think we should, and have a lot of honesty about it. But then here's me not being open and honest and appreciative of the cultures that created me. You know, so I really want to take some time. I am going to take some time and learn about the places that I come from so that I can, number one, talk confidently about it when people ask me. And the main reason is just so I can know myself, become even more authentic Tara, and actually be proud of the truth, proud of what I am and how I got here. You know, so I am really excited to share this with you guys. I was excited to see it myself. I didn't know how I was going to feel, and I feel some type of way. I really do. I feel some type of way about all this. So yeah, let's see what I get into about my Nigerian culture, my Dutch culture. Maybe I'll make some trips. Maybe I'll just, I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm looking at this as a new chapter, right? Of finding myself and discovering myself, you know? So good job, Tara, at 50. Getting out of denial and into the truth is always, always worth it. And it's always been a winner for me to do that. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I would love it if you would please hit the like button and the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. joined the fam. Like I said, I really want to hear from you guys in the comments section this time. Like, more than the beauty products, more than that stuff, I want to talk about this, and I want to hear what other women, especially other Black women, or actually anyone who's learned anything new about their race. How did you feel about it? What changes did you make in your life, you know? So yeah, share with me. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Mwah!